Here we go with another package. This one came from the US. It was shipped via Poopney Buttholes, so I'm sure that it's going to go very well. And also, I don't know what it is, because the listing was for a Sony Handycam CCD TR818 High 8. I think it might have even been High 8 XR. But the pictures were not. We'll just put it that way. The pictures were for something else. So what are we going to get here? Well, we're going to find out here on video. Hopefully, I can actually cut through this tape. This is a very, seemingly, it's a better packaging job than I usually expect from Pitney Bowes, but let's see here. So, well, here's the carrying case. That's certainly as described. Got some paper. So, at least they used recyclable materials. I'm sure I'm scaring the cat over there. So let me get this thing out of the box and we'll take a look at it. Alright, here it is. You know, at first I thought that said coaster, but maybe it actually does. Co-star? Anyway. What is this? Here comes the big reveal. Hair pillows. This will be fun to pop later. It's packaged really well. Alright, so it is actually as shown in the pictures. So this is cool. Actually, I think this is even cooler than TR818 would have been. Let's get the power supply out of here. You can tell it's an older camera. Yep, I'm scaring the cat over here. But anyway, I'll let him out in a second. I want to get this power supply out. And we'll get out the camera and have a look at it. Sure he's taking an interest in the packaging material. Well, he was. That's the previous box that this camera I'm using right now came in. Hope he doesn't think he can fit in there. Because this cat has a history of trying to fit himself into boxes that he doesn't necessarily fit in. It's rather amusing. Well, this could be an unfortunate story. I see stuff I do not like already. But anyway, here it is. Definitely not a high 8 camcorder at all. This is a Sony CCD-V3 Video 8. Very old Handycam. And when I say I don't really like what I'm seeing, that's only the start right there. Go ahead and have a look over here. You can see more of pretty much the same. It's actually worse right here. I mean, it's not terrible. I don't think it's going to really prevent the camcorder from working or anything like that. At least I hope it doesn't. But it was definitely in a lot better condition before it was shipped. So despite all of the seller's best intentions to try and package this, well, it really did not survive as planned. Oh well. Can't really do much about it now. Never push this lid down. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug it in and see if it actually still happens to work. You can see it's an older style camera with the manual lens, and I'm really not a fan of these styles. It doesn't even have a whole lot of zoom at all. Does it actually say how much it has? I don't think so. I might have to go look that up. But hopefully, with any luck, I'll be back in a few minutes. Or actually, I will be back in not any time at all, thanks to the magic of videotape. And we will see some footage from this camera, if it happens to work. We are recording, sort of, with the Handycam CCD V3. I am using a surrogate recorder, however, which we can see right there, possibly. I think I'm a little too close, though. I'm going to have to turn on macro mode. If I can turn on macro mode. How's macro on this camera work? Here we go. Get a little closer so the macro actually works properly. So I'm using the CCD TRV72 to record. The previous part of the video was recorded with that. The, what is that thing? CCD TRV16. Unfortunately, this camcorder's tape mechanism doesn't work, and I found some more collateral damage from the shipping So the battery power compartment doesn't fit on the camera very well either. However, it seems to be working just fine otherwise. So, as a video camera, this might not be so bad. Now, the one thing that this is missing, a very curious omission, is that there is no power zoom whatsoever. So you're stuck with the manual zoom, and you don't even get a whole lot of it. That's it. Which I thought was fairly interesting. It's also complaining about low lighting. So this is definitely one of those earlier CCD image sensors. Although the preview on the actual camcorder itself, if I look at it right now, actually doesn't look too bad. And I think my video cable is also a little messed up, so if the picture disappears and is doing some weird things, well, I do apologize. But, so there you go. There's your, unfortunately rather shipping damaged. Oh, it's not an auto. Whoops. I had a little bit of an issue with the sidecar falling off, like I said, just because of the shipping collateral damage. The grip release doesn't have anything to grip onto, so it just kind of releases itself whenever it pleases. There you go. Has a surprisingly decent picture. And I'm amazed. I would have expected bad capacitor hell on this thing, but it seems to be okay. What I actually did is I changed the white balance to automatic. It was set to indoor, which wouldn't have been too far off, but I always like to use the automatic controls on these older cameras. Especially when you're using LED lights like I am, because it might not necessarily get it completely correct. I think that should be good enough for a test. So, assuming it actually turned out like I hope it did, I would like to thank you for watching. And if you have any comments, do feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then. Here's a little postscript on this video, just to kind of show you some of the collateral damage I was talking about. It doesn't majorly affect the operation of the camera, although it does at the same time. Because what's going on here is the camera is two pieces. The main camera body, which is right here, and then this, the so-called grip, which is what the power supply and the battery plug into, and it attaches to the camera with that little piece right there. Well, also the piece here, I think. No, it doesn't. I thought it would have had the accessory shoe on it, but I'm guessing that some of these pins, you know, 2 pins are for the power, 2 pins are for the start-stop button, and then the other 2 pins are for this switch here. But anyway, because of this damage, which you might be able to see very well, oh yeah, you can see that, because of all this junk, which I didn't see until I realized the camera wouldn't power on, is doing just that, preventing this from making good contact. So the camera is very difficult to power on, and when you do actually finally get it to power on, if you play with any of the controls on the side, as I found out, the camera shuts off. And you gotta pull it off and put it back on. Now, part of this is probably because of this damage up here, which is what the grip release, you know, grips into. Forgive the pun. But since that's gone, there's nothing for that to really attach to, so it just slides back and forth willy-nilly. And because it's all deformed, it's very, very difficult to get that thing into place. So, I don't know, if anybody's really experienced with eBay, more experienced than I am, you know, can tell me what I should do in this case. Because the item was sold for parts, it powers on, but it didn't look like this in the pictures. It looked, you know, intact. So I'm not really sure. The seller did also say that sometimes it turns off, which, yes, that's what I'm experiencing here. So it's possible that maybe some of this damage existed before the shipping. I don't know. But, because I didn't get a picture. The seller didn't actually take a picture of the inside of the case, just as it is. So it's possible that all that damage was in there beforehand. And, maybe this shipping had nothing to do with this, but, I'd like to think the seller's a little more honest than that. this isn't fixable. There's no way that this can be repaired. There's just way too much cracking, way too much damage to be able to do that. There's pieces that are missing because they're floating around in there, and who knows, this might not even be all the pieces. So I don't know really what to do in this case, because the camera works otherwise. There's nothing overly wrong with it other than all this damage, which makes it difficult to power the camera. And also the tape basket, but again, it's possible that that was a problem beforehand. I don't think the seller really tested it. So, and who knows, maybe this is just something like a bad belt. That's probably exactly the case. Or maybe some other broken piece of plastic in there preventing this thing from doing what it should do. I'm going to see if I can put the side on, and if I can get this to eject and demonstrate for you exactly what's going on. Okay, I've gone ahead and put it together. Hopefully this will allow me to demo what exactly is going on. No, I have no power. Now, let me play with it a little bit more. You can hear it. I actually think I just broke it a little bit more. Wow, that really sounds like crap. But, let's see. Do I have a tape I don't care about? Well, this has footage on it, and it is a brand new tape, so I'd hate to break it, but, I have the footage imported, so if it does eat this tape, I'm not too concerned. Put it in playback mode here. Yep, it's doing exactly what I think it's doing. So I think it does have a bad belt. Let's see if I can actually get the tape back. I pull this out, yeah, you can hear it. Big time. See that? So, yeah, I think we got a bad belt situation going on here, as well as some other damage. I mean, you can hear it. It sounds like absolute crap. So, again, I'm not going to fault the seller on that, because I think they had nothing to do with it. So, it's just really kind of disappointing, because I was really kind of hoping to give this camera a good test. It did come with a battery. I don't know if I think I showed it, but I'm going to show it again here. This is it. It's an NP22. I think it's a nickel-cadmium battery, but I have no real way of charging it, so I don't know if it still works. Given it's nickel-cadmium, I kind of doubt it. But it's there. So I think that's it for the video. I don't really have anything else to share with you. Just sort of a sad story, I guess. It's probably not going to stop me from using it. But there you go. There's your CCD V3. Your mystery camera. The mystery is solved.